Frank Capra, uno prima. Azione.
Buongiorno a tutti. Vorrei parlare in italiano, ma è meglio che parlo in inglese. I am here sitting in front of my place in La Quinta, California, which is in the desert, and it's the most beautiful place probably in California. In one of these little cottages, we wrote most of our scripts in these little cottages. The script for It Happened One Night, for Meet John Doe, and Mr. Deeds Goes to Town were all written right in one of these little houses here. So I think it's a lucky place to come, so I keep coming here all the time and living here at the moment for the winter. I'd like to say something about motion pictures to you, but I'm going to speak just a little bit generally. You probably know that I'm a motion picture director. You probably have heard of my name.
I wrote the book, The Films of Frank Capra, with William Turner Levy, after we both had become close friends of Frank Capra. What impressed me most about Frank Capra at the first meeting and throughout our long friendship was his warmth. A lovable, lovable man.
Well, all my remembrances of Frank Capra were happy. There was no other feeling than that, of that kind. Great admiration, of course, but he was a wonderfully happy fellow. I remember always this wide, happy grin on his face.
I just want to say that I think that Frank Capra probably was one of the best directors that Hollywood ever produced, and producers. His films were upbeat and positive, and they gave you a slice of life, and certainly a wonderful look at America. You know, he was an Italian immigrant, and it was marvelous because he adored this country.
I can talk to them for 2 hours and in the dark, and you can see what the power that is. The power to change lives. The power to deal with ideas. And this is why I love film so much, because it is a communicating medium through which we can talk to each other, through which an artist can talk to the people, and can use any subject that comes to his mind.
Well, Frank Capra, as a director, gave you a minimum of direction. He wanted to see first what you would do, and then he would enhance it. Or he would say, I wouldn't do this if I were you. Or, why don't we do it this way? And he made you feel very much at ease, and that's what really I needed to feel.
Anything else, Mr. Deeds?
No. Yes. There's just one more thing I'd like to get off my chest before I finish.
Proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
When he returned from war, he made his great magnum opus, It's a Wonderful Life, a magnificent film that has all of his doubts and darkness in it. And after that, it was a kind of, he made good movies, but the old magic wasn't there. The thing he wanted to say had been said, and I think the kind of sense he had about life and people had been changed by his World War II experience.
Hallelujah!
Hello? George! George, darling, where are you? George, darling, where are you? Oh, George, 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 George.
Let me touch you. Are you real?
Oh, George, George.
Oh, you have no idea what's happened to me.
I have no idea what happened. Well, come on, George, come on downstairs. Quick, they're on their way.
All right.
Come on. Come on in here now. Now you stand right over here by the tree. Right there, and don't move. Don't move. What's happening? Wow. Oh, I hear them coming now. George, it's a miracle. It's a miracle.
I think that he saw life in both a way that seemed closely observed and yet was perhaps idealized, happy endings and so on. And I think I don't know that he ever made a film in which people didn't go away from it feeling better than when they went in.
Frank Capra's films are a reflection of an America of another time. I think George Bush said in his inaugural address that he wanted a kinder and gentler America. The kinder and gentler America is the subject of the best of Frank Capra's pictures, because that's the kind of a man he was. And when America changed, when America became entirely different, and maybe the world did too, it became tougher and harder, and reality was always there, and maybe America didn't have any more time for fairy tales. Frank was the greatest teller of fairy tales of our time, and when they passed out of vogue, we lost a great deal. I'm hoping that another Frank Capra is going to come along and hopefully help our country and maybe the world as much as Frank and his pictures did.
Actually, it's ridiculous. A film is ridiculous. It is shadows on a wall. Shadows, just shadows on the wall. And machinery and microphones that talk. Mechanical things. It is mechanical, shadow. No substance to it at all. And yet when the people see a motion picture, they see these shadows come alive and become real. And they love the characters or hate the characters, or they worry about them, or they care about them, but they care about them as real people, and yet they are shadows. I know that sounds very ridiculous, it sounds very simple, and sounds like childish talk, but it is not childish talk. It is what makes great pictures.